People often ask me, Matt, what's your best advice for an artist that wants to sell their work? Well, I'm going to tell you today here on 5-Minute Mentoring. Hey, my friend, so glad you're with me here today on 5-Minute Mentoring. You know, there's so much that I could say to an artist that is wanting to sell their work. I mean, my goodness, that's why we started the Created to Thrive Artist Mentoring Program years ago, and why thousands of artists have gone through it and successfully turned their hobby into either a part-time or full-time business. There's so much to be able to tell. But, you know, if I had a chance to sit down with somebody and they said, Matt, I know you could go in any direction, but tell me, what's the one thing that you would say is the best advice for me as an artist that's wanting to sell my work? I would say this: find out who is your most likely ideal client. You've got to research, you've got to dig, you've got to find, you've got to get out there in front of the market, you've got to sell some work, you got to be in some shows, you got to get some data, look at what other people are doing, but you got to find out who is the most likely candidate to be your ideal client. Well, why is that important? Isn't making great work important? Yeah, making great work is like assumed, right? Being a fabulous artist is assumed, right? You got to be making great work. So that's not even a question. You got to be making unique work. That's not even a question. You got to be doing it in a way that's masterfully competent. That's not even a question. The questions often come down to, now that I'm doing that, how do I grow my business and how do I do it in a way where I can measure the results and really, get a plan together for consistent cash flow? And it all comes down to this idea of who your ideal client really is. See, most artists, when they're starting out, because, they don't have business experience, because they've never developed a marketing plan, because they've never really tried to grow a business out of their art, they just kind of take this shotgun approach, thinking, well, everybody's my client. I'll sell it at church and at the farmer's market and at this art show, and maybe I can get into that. And I wonder if this store, but just anywhere they can. And what happens is a lot of frustration builds. All their, efforts are really thrown out in a lot of different directions, and you lose the real power of focus. But when you learn to identify your ideal client and you realize, hey, this is the person that's most likely to buy my art, then every marketing opportunity that you're considering gets to go through the filter, if you will, of this one question: will this marketing opportunity get me closer to or further away from my ideal client? I have people all the time, in the mentoring program and at conferences or whatever, they ask me, well, Matt, should I do this? Should I advertise in a magazine? Should I do this show? Should I be in this opportunity or that opportunity? I said, I don't know. I have no clue. There's gajillions of opportunities to market your art. So the most important thing you got to ask is this opportunity going to get me closer to knowing who my ideal client is or not? If it doesn't get you closer to your ideal client, if it doesn't put you in front of them in a way that you can build connections that lead to sales, it's not worth doing. But it'll get my name out there, but people will see me. Yeah, that's great. But listen, you've got a limited budget. You got a limited amount of time. You got a limited amount of energy. And if you're asking my best advice, I'm going to say go all in. Go all in on getting in front of that ideal client and going deeper with them. Now, there's a lot that I could say, much more that I can do in a 5-minute mentoring. That's why we have the Created to Thrive Artist Mentoring Program. You're developing your ideal client, knowing who they are and how to develop connection with them is one of the core things that I go pretty deep into the program, so that you have real clarity in that. If you want help with that, I'd love to help you. You can join the mentoring program at any time. You can see the link right here below to find out more information about that. But suffice it to say, if you are looking for the way to get the most bang for your buck in your marketing, and you're thinking, Matt, what's the most important thing, most critical thing I can do right now? It's put all your focus on getting in front of that ideal client so that you can deepen connections that lead to sales. When you do that, my friend, listen, your life will become a whole lot more simple. All right? I love you, my friend. I hope this is encouraging to you. And remember, until next time, you were created to thrive. Bye.